Welcome to the Bridge of Two podcast. Welcome back to the Bridge of Two podcast.
Welcome back, everybody.
We are back. We are still recording episodes.
I wonder if they can hear.
In this season, there's a baby.
I wonder if they can hear him in the background.
Living. That's the sound of the people crying for Bridge of Two.
They're yearning for the bridge.
Yes. Begging for more content.
I know I am.
I know I am. It was like sinister laugh.
I don't know why it was, but
yeah, so we're back. We talked about last episode we talked about the secret projects. Finally got to go over them.
A little overview.
A little like light, very light on spoilers. This time we're going to talk about the art and go a little heavier on spoilers. I think would be enjoyable. And but before we do that, how are you?
There's more.
How are you?
I am. I'm good. I'm all right. You know.
Yeah.
You know.
Good.
Just,
all right. You want to do a downgrade further, or
it's I. It went from all right to I.
less letters?
You know,
Or
living the dream ish.
Yeah.
Dream nightmare. Still haven't figured it out yet. No, it's going good.
Good.
I'm still busy as ever. I feel like I'm busier now.
Yeah. You're still doing school.
Still doing school and working full time.
You're a dad.
I am a dad.
You are a dad.
I am a dad.
So
I am an actual dad
just
now.
remember that.
Yes. A dad who gets.
Does that ever like just randomly like
Yes.
hit you and you're like, oh yeah, I'm a dad?
Yes. Specifically when I'm like, I shouldn't be a dad. I'm telling some stupid joke at work with friends and I'm like, I'm a father.
I'm a father. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Gives you a different perspective though on your parents probably. Like on parent, like when you think about your parents, I think about my parents. It's like, huh.
We all just shouldn't have kids. I'm just playing. I'm playing.
Yeah.
No one is ever ready for kids.
Yeah. No one has it figured out.
But boy, are they a blessing. Emma has been such a blessing. So I find now that I'm just always so excited to come home from work. I'm excited to come home from work in general because I'm off work, but like I'm so excited to come home from work and see Emma in the morning. You know, usually she's...
And Steph, of course.
Well, I've always loved seeing Steph.
It's just added.
It's just added now, Emma.
Added bonus.
I tell you every morning.
Perfect.
But no, yeah, it's wonderful. I can't wait until I was thinking the other day, I think because I saw a clip on Instagram of Kingdom Hearts. I think I sent it to you actually.
Yeah, you did.
Simple and Cleaner or something.
I remember us talking about looking forward to playing.
But I can't wait till Emma's old enough and can like understand and watch me play Kingdom Hearts or when she plays it. That's just gonna be a lot of fun for me. Yeah, that is like, such a nostalgic game for me. I've been thinking about replaying it recently. Again. Yeah.
One more time.
I think I've beaten the first one multiple times over the years.
Yeah. I need to replay them because my kids played Kingdom Hearts 3 with me. At least Jack and Ellie did, and then I was gonna start going back through 1 and 2, but
life got in the way.
Yeah, and I bought it on the computer, and so I had to do a weird thing with Steam Link to try to get on the TV, and it just was kind of a hassle to get it working.
See, that's something else I thought about if I do replay it, because like I mentioned last episode, I'm like doing this YouTube channel thing, and if anything,
not kinda.
I am doing it.
You are doing it.
I mean, the first video is going to be uploaded soon.
Prepare your YouTube feeds.
Really, as soon as I can finish this piece of artwork that I'm doing for the thumbnail. Because
sweet.
Who knows? It's already taken me like 3 weeks to do it, so
it's gonna be that good.
Now I'm almost done. I just gotta commit and actually sit down and do it, or finish it
tonight.
I might do it. If not tonight, it's gonna be this weekend at the latest because I'm off all weekend. But if anything, if no one watches the YouTube channel, what it does do is it helps me to actually sit down and play a game and finish it, because I have like a goal in mind of like, I'm going to do this for YouTube, and if I'm uploading it, then I have like there's a reason to be doing it. Because sometimes I have a bad habit of starting games and never finishing them because I find a different game or something else takes my attention away. But and I've noticed it already because I've been doing it with World of Warcraft. I've already been playing this character far longer than I probably would have normally. I would have already made a new character because once again, I have a habit of doing that.
Yeah.
I've noticed with doing it with YouTube, I'm able to stay focused on it more. And it also makes me shut everything else off, like YouTube. Like usually when I play games like that with like YouTube on or a TV show, and this kind of helps me shut it off and just kind of actually get engrossed in the game and relax.
Just focus on one thing.
And I find I've come to find that I actually really enjoy my time when I go to sit down and record, because I can finally just get engrossed in the game. I just talk willy-nilly about I talked about Republic Commando the other episode that I made. Wow.
I mean, that's always a good topic.
Of course, that's the one episode that I had the worst audio recording for. I completely screwed up the audio because I had moved things around on my computer.
You had what?
I moved things around on my computer, like where I had my microphone and all that set up, and they just something
with bleeding.
I think one of my ports had a bad power to it. Okay. So like that's neither here nor there.
I don't know if there's anything I can help with that, like the audio.
I got it all fixed now. Okay. It should be good. But I might send you a couple of videos to see what you think of the audio and quality and all that. But that being said, I was thinking about possibly doing, if I end up playing Kingdom Hearts, getting on my computer and doing a playthrough of Kingdom Hearts.
That's a good idea.
I think it might be fun. Just different games. Think about that game. I was thinking about Star Wars: The Old Republic. Yeah, because that game is really good. Just different things. Like I said, if no one watches it, I'm just doing, if anything, for myself. So, yeah,
I mean, that's a huge section of YouTube, you know. So, I mean, there's definitely a big audience for it. But I'll look forward to checking it out for sure. Do you have the name yet nailed down?
Oh, yes, I do. Tentatively, that's what it is right now. It might change in the future because then you can apparently change.
Tentatively is what it is now.
No.
Oh, okay.
The Gaming Bridge.
The Gaming Bridge, okay. Where we bridge sci-fi and fantasy games. And by we, I mean Jeremiah.
And maybe you wouldn't. Who knows? Maybe we'll get a co-op game going.
That'd be fun.
Get Helldivers 2 and play that. Yeah, the Gaming Bridge right now, like I said, I don't know if it's going to change. That's what it's going to be for right now. And it might probably stay that way. Right. But yeah, so that's working on that. I've been doing that. Other than that, that's all. I have been reading a little bit more, but I've been reading Rise of the Lich King, which is a World of Warcraft book. And I'm reading it because World of Warcraft playthrough that I'm doing is eventually meant to be through the Wrath of the Lich King expansion. Right. For the classic. They're going classic versions, going through all the expansions again. That's where they're at. And I always wanted to play that expansion. So I'm reading the book to kind of get up on some of the history and the story of how that the Lich King came to be and what's up with that. Right. So that's actually been a really good book, though. It's like over the past probably like 2 or 3 days, I've like gotten really invested in it. It's a really easy read. But that has just been really fun to read. The story's really cool. Yeah. The character, it's really dumb to say unrealistic, but kind of unrealistic in some of it. Just some of the things that happen just seem to happen way too quickly. Okay. But it's a video game, based off a video game, and it's still good. I'm also just used to Brandon Sanderson, where
there's a lot, like a slow burn.
A slow burn, but it's like really realistic slow burn.
And then you just become a god at the end. Yeah. Yeah.
In this case, you become a demon. But
yeah. The other side of the coin.
Yeah, but so that's been really good. And then that's really it. I'm gonna do the call of my people. Yeah, not anymore. But
I know it's like you almost just leapt up and just.
I once completely off topic. When we were at Utah. I think one of the nights that Steph and I were in the Airbnb before you guys arrived. A fire truck and ambulance drove by the house at like 3 a.m. There were sirens blaring, and Stephanie said that I jolted out of bed and got dressed And then before she finally calmed me down and made me realize that I wasn't at work. Because that was back when I was still working on the ambulance.
Well, right. And you didn't take a lot of time off either.
No.
So, I mean.
No, I didn't.
Your brain hadn't fully let go.
And when I finally woke up, I was like, oh, that's right. I'm on vacation. Also, screw those guys for having their sirens blaring through a neighborhood at 3 in the morning.
Right. It's like, what?
But that was completely off topic.
Utah.
But yeah, so that's been fun. I'm gonna do my Stormlight reread after I finish Rise of the Lich King.
Nice.
And then doing some drawing. Got a couple things planned I want to really try to do that I gotta like get on the ball about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. What about you? How you
Well,
been?
when you start posting these videos, I'm assuming you probably mention stuff about drawing sometimes.
Occasionally.
Because you could like drop something, like mention it, and then, get the people thirsty for
more
some Jeremiah drawings,
some Jake Herrick art.
Yeah, exactly.
Pretty sure it's mine going to be my Instagram channel that I made. I haven't posted anything on yet.
The first post on that needs to be Sharky.
Oh my
the
gosh,
grotesque.
Right? Sharky the grotesque. Did we ever post that on our Instagram?
Oh yeah, it was a clip. It was a clip. We had the audio of us talking about it and laughing about it. It was a good clip.
That was a while ago.
Yeah,
good times.
The adventures we've had.
How you been? How you doing?
Good, doing well. I've been dabbling in Halo stuff because I was watching the season 2 of Halo, which I'm enjoying for the most part. Their episode called Reach came out last week. Didn't enjoy as much as I was expecting to enjoy it. I got on I got on Reddit and I read some things that people posted of different like references and Easter eggs and stuff that made me feel like, okay, maybe I need to rewatch it. Maybe it's not maybe it wasn't as bad as I felt like it was.
Have you played through Reach yet?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
I finished Reach recently. I mean, I played through it before, but I finished it recently. I was playing through it when I was watching the show, and there he is.
There he is.
Just
magnificent. I pulled up the Sharky the Grotesque image.
Magnificent.
Beautiful in all his glory.
Incarnated.
It's grotesque glory.
Incarnated on paper.
Well, digital, but
digital paper. But so
yeah, I've been seeing you on the Halo collection a lot whenever I hop on Steam or whatever I see you playing.
Sometimes I'll leave it on.
I assume you do because sometimes I'm like, he's been on for a while. I know he has kids and things.
Sometimes I'll forget and leave it on. Or I'll play for a little while and then I'll think I'm going to come back, so I'll leave it on but then I'll just leave it I don't know if we were ever, I'll save any of my critique about Halo the show for
dude.
If we ever talked about it.
I just had a great idea.
What?
That's what we should do.
Play through Halo
and post it on the channel.
Starting with Halo
because
Reach.
It's co-op. Aren't all of them co-op?
I don't know if Halo 1. Well, they might. The Master Chief Collection might have it.
I know it's at least split screen co-op.
You're right. There was originally split screen co-op,
but that might be fun.
It could be fun. Yeah.
Well, we'll see. We'll talk about it off air.
I did beat Halo Reach. Magnificent.
Such a good game.
I just beat the first Halo. Forgot how Halo. The first Halo game is pretty long.
It is. I've never actually.
Halo Reach is pretty short.
I've never beaten the first Halo game.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm. I've gotten far, but it's so long.
There was stuff in it that I was like, have I ever beaten this? Because there was a lot of stuff in it I remembered, but the very end of it, I was like, I don't remember the very end of this game. So I almost wonder if I didn't finish it.
I actually don't even know if I finished Halo 2.
I
know the story. I've did a deep dive into the story of it all.
I don't know if I have either, honestly.
But I've definitely beaten 3 in Reach.
Yeah, I played 3 multiple times. Mm-hmm. But Halo 2 I played bits and pieces of in high school, and I don't know if I really played anymore. So I'm playing Halo 2 now, which the Halo 2 anniversary, which is what's in the Master Chief Collection, is really beautiful because the cutscenes are only a few years old. So the cutscenes are awesome. Mm-hmm. So iconic like Master Chief giving the Covenant the bomb back. Have you ever seen that cutscene or anything like that?
Yes, I think so.
Okay. What if you miss? I won't.
Yes, I've seen. Yep.
Yeah. So that was just a gorgeous cutscene on that. And it's interesting too because you can like hit tab and it'll like go back to the original graphics.
Yes.
And you'll be like, oh yeah, this is very old.
It really makes everything look a lot. Makes the new stuff look even better when you
when you jump back to the other one. So yeah, I'm just having fun playing through those, and just remembering how fun those were, atmospheric and such a great protagonist, Master Chief. Which, that's a big critique of the Halo show, and I'm kind of getting it the more I'm playing the game of like the Master Chief of the show. He's just not the Master Chief of the game. It's just because there's just a different level he's on in the games, which is a lot of fun to play a character like that. But anyway, so that's been fun. And then that's maybe the main thing.
Well, then you started Avatar.
Oh, yeah. I started Avatar: The Last Airbender because the show just came out, and I kind of wanted to watch it, but I was like, I don't want to watch it and be like, this is the best thing ever, and like not have any understanding of what the show has been. And plus, Dave Filoni was a big part of.
He's a big part of
Avatar: The Last Airbender, so that made me even more want to.
Didn't that also drop as the third season of Bad Batch had dropped?
Yes, and that looks really good. Like the trailer for that.
I haven't even watched the second season. I've like been really bad on my TV shows.
I watched a couple episodes of season 2. I mean, it looks good. It just looks good.
It does. A lot looks like. I mean, I've had a few things.
There's commandos in it too.
A lot happens in it. I just haven't sat down and watched anything.
Yeah. So there's definitely less stuff to watch. But I am really enjoying the Avatar: The Last Airbender. Like,
so good.
A lot.
That's a good show to watch with kids too. It's a kid-friendly show.
Yeah, I was actually thinking that today. I was like, I could probably watch this with the kids. Although the other day, Jack was watching me play Halo, and he was like, Dad, are there skeletons in this? And I was like, as I'm killing the flood, he asked me that.
The scariest part of Halo.
And I'm like, no, I don't think so. And he's like, good. Because that would be really creepy. And then,
as your character's being swarmed by these hideous monsters.
Yeah. And then I was thinking, when I was thinking about Avatar, I was like, they could probably watch that. But then I thought of him saying that. And then there's, when they go to the Southern Air Temple and there's like a skeleton there, a couple skeletons in that episode.
Yeah, but it's like, it's not bad.
So, but
I'm imagining you playing Dead Space.
Oh no!
And Jack in the room and be like, "Oh, are there any skeletons in this game?" He'd be like, "No." He's like, "Oh, good. That'd be scary."
I don't know about that. Would be a funny one if we ever did that in co-op.
Oh yeah,
because I would be freaking out.
That would be fun. I think in single player that would be fun to play like in the same room together, like have us both recorded, like our reactions. That game, have you ever played it?
I played the first one.
Oh, it's terrifying.
And I couldn't finish it.
I don't think I ever finished it either.
And I would always play it at night too. And I was
Me
just like,
too. Every time.
I have to stop playing this at night.
Every time.
And then I just stopped playing.
Of course, now the only time I play video games is at night. So,
but I heard the series gets more like 2 and 3 are more action oriented. Mm-hmm. So
they are.
But yeah, I don't know. Anyway, so that's me.
Oh, real quick, have you watched any more Attack on Titan?
Have I? I feel like maybe I watched another episode, but I haven't. I've dropped off a little bit on watching it, which I want to pick back up on it, but because I was getting close. I feel like I was getting close to the end of season 1, or maybe just a good ways into season 1. But I mean,
I was just curious.
It's all crazy.
Season 2, a lot of crazy things dropped.
I'm trying to think of the last thing that happened on the show. Last crazy thing. Well, it's like there's something with a key.
Oh, the key.
That he just remembered. It's
the key to the basement.
Yeah. That's like a big thing right now. He's like got to get to the basement.
I don't think they. Yeah, I'm pretty sure they don't get to the basement for like until season 3.
Really?
Yeah. But a lot of things happen. Oh, a lot of things. The best, I think, pretty sure it's season 2. The best speech ever given in any show is in season 2.
Okay, is that the one where there's like the writers,
or
whatever? Yeah.
Followed.
They're like riding horses, right?
Followed by like one of the coolest just obliteration scenes ever.
The people that he rallied get obliterated, basically.
We'll fight like a Titan fight scenes too.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I just remember laughing out loud watching the trot whenever like Aaron's on trial for being a Titan, basically, and then like, what's his name?
Levi
Just
beats the crap. Yes,
punching him and kneeing him in the like face over and over, and then he'll say like 5 words, and then he'll punch him like 8 more times, and then he'll say some more things, and then I'm just like, what is happening?
Levi is the best character in that show.
And then of course it was like a strategy at the end, but I was like, whoa. Anyway,
Levi is amazing.
But that's what I love about that show, is just the stuff where it's just like,
huh?
Out of left field. Yeah, huh? Exactly. Huh?
It's that cat face, huh?
It literally, yeah, that's me.
Me the entire time watching that show.
Or like insane laughter, because I'll just like start laughing at them because I'm just going crazy. Well, shall we look at art?
Let's do it. My favorite thing.
Get our art on.
My favorite thing.
You want to go in order, or
yeah, let's go in order.
Or do we want to go in our like? Yeah, let's just go in order.
We'll start by saying which ones have our favorite art in it.
Okay,
and then we'll go down order.
You go first.
Yeah, I'll rank mine.
Oh yeah,
I'll go from
art ranking,
least to favorite.
Okay.
Once again, unfortunately, the Frugal Wizards
Ray Frugal
handbook is going to be lowest for me. Not that the art was bad. I enjoyed the art. I liked all the small...
Sorry, Steve. Argyle.
I liked all the small art in it.
Like on the pages?
Yeah, there's a lot of pages where there's just like weird, silly art. It definitely, the way they did the art made it a lot of... he does it to make it look like it's an actual
handbook.
Or,
yeah.
There's a lot of... I think this one has the most amount of drawings in it, actually. I think that was something that Brandon talked about.
Yeah, I remember him saying that like Steve Argyle was like kind of went crazy with it.
And it is fun to read through it and see them all. But that being said, kind of along the same lines of like the story wasn't my favorite. The art just kind of went along with the story, and so it just ended up not being my favorite.
Right. Still
enjoyable. I like reading through books that have a lot of illustrations. Sometimes it almost feels like it's someone who's like writing in a notebook in class, and then they're doing sketches on the side of their paper. It's kind of the feel it gives me. So enjoyable, not my favorite. Next, unfortunately, I'm going to go with, I think I'm going to put Yumi
last
as my third.
Okay, or third, right? Third of last of the.
Once again, not because I didn't like it, because I do like it. The art style is way different than Frugal Wizard or even the other ones. It definitely has a more, just like the book itself has a more oriental feel to it.
Yeah. It even has an anime feel, like the drawing art.
Yes.
I think. Intentionally. Probably.
There are some really good ones. Like, let's see if I can. Yeah, there are some really good ones in there with some good color. But, and it's honestly kind of hard. Now that I think about it, it's really hard to rank these books because the art is just so good.
Yeah.
But I'm still going to put that as number 3. This is where it gets hard. Because I love the arc for both Tress and the Sunlit Man a lot.
Very different styles.
I think, depending on my mood, it would change on which is better. Right now, I think I'm going to put Sunlit Man second. I really like the sketchy feel to all the artwork. And it has one of the coolest ones, in my opinion. I think it's at the end. Yeah.
Coolest full color.
Yeah. Here, you can see it at least.
Haha. Yeah. That's an epic moment.
It's the one with if you've looked at it and seen it, he's wearing shard plate, but it's like burning on fire, and it has the symbol behind him of Skybreaker. And it's fully rendered.
Oh, spoiler warnings ahead.
Yeah.
We said that at the beginning.
We did. So I really like that. But that being said, Trust was the first one, and my gosh, does
First Love.
Howard Lyon just go all out with the artwork. Plus, Howard Lyon is a traditional artist, and you can see that in the way he does his art. He does traditional art, even the stuff in the books. Like the first one that you ever see in the book, which is, I don't remember the name of it, but it's just a picture of Tress, and she's like, you see the green spore.
Looks like almost like her. And it looks almost like a photograph.
It was traditionally painted.
How realistic it looks.
And then he came in and put it digitally and touched it up. His art style, his artwork is just phenomenal. Very impressive. And he just absolutely kills it through this. Plus, it has probably my favorite piece of Cosmere art in it, which I mentioned last episode, which is the, what's the name of it? The Battle of Wits. And it literally is a picture of Wit and another person battling with magic. Looks like Aeondor, is that what the magic system is?
Yeah, from Elantris.
But he's wearing a floral button-up shirt, no pants, just boxers, and socks with sandals. And it is just hilarious to me. I love it. The artwork in it is, once again, just impeccable.
When we were at Dragonsteel, you went to a panel that had some of the art from the, and you remember you saying that you saw maybe your favorite Cosmere art that you'd seen. Was that the one?
Oh, no, well, because this one wasn't. Oh, what was
they wouldn't. I guess they wouldn't have shown that. It would have been too spoilery, probably.
Oh man, I don't remember which one it was. Now I think about it, I think it was one from the Sunlit Man.
Oh, okay.
It might have been the Skybreaker one. I think about it.
Huh.
But maybe not. Maybe it wasn't.
Okay.
Wow, I'm gonna have to think about that because I do remember seeing one that I really, really liked. No, this was definitely one that wasn't on there though.
Okay. Yeah.
I think the one that they showed for this book was the Tress, but with the green moon.
Okay.
I think that was one they ended up showing. But his use of color, rendering, just everything is just phenomenal in Tress. And so, and all the art is fully rendered. They all go well with the scene that they're talking about. Yeah, the art in that one was just, I loved seeing them, looking at them. Yeah, it was so good. What about you?
I think that, not to be unoriginal, but I think that that's my same order, to not to not belabor it. So, I mean, I think my top two books, I think I put Tress and then Sunlit Man. Or maybe did I put Yumi above Sunlit Man? I don't remember.
You put Yumi above Sunlit Man.
Okay. Wow. I mean, I did really love the story in Yumi, but I did appreciate the art in Sunlit Man more. It has more of it's a little close to home, closer to home with the Sigil.
Yeah.
And with there's just a lot more that you understand about that world, even if it's a very alien world, but you're with Renadites and you've got references to this, that, and the other. And so I loved I definitely put Tress top and at with the art, and then Sunlit Man, and then Yumi. I almost think like a lot of the art in Yumi felt less. A lot of it, not all of it, but a lot of it felt less. I almost like the black and white stuff, like the full art stuff didn't do as much for me as the stuff where it's like you've got like one piece in Yumi where it's Yumi getting ready to go out with Painter's friends or whatever, but a lot of the full art, full color art in Yumi felt less, so what's the word, like down to earth. Like it felt more abstract.
Yes.
It felt harder for me to like connect with it in a way. And so I think that's why maybe I put Yumi's art lower, and why the black and white stuff connected with me more is because it's more about the actual, there's just less going on in the art. It's more simple.
I think with Yumi too, the black and white stuff felt more in world.
Yeah,
because he's using just ink. like painter just uses ink with in his paintings, and so
yeah. So and then Frugal Wizard, I actually looking through the book to think about this made me want to read it more, because seeing the art, both the little sketches on the side of the page and the margins and stuff, but also the full color stuff. Like there's some art at the end that I was like, what is happening here? So, it definitely intrigued me a lot. So and it's very good art. I do like Steve Argyle. So
I do think that was my thing too with Frugal Wizard, though, is it, I don't know why, but some of the art, it's not bad, but some of the art feels inconsistent. Like it almost feels like his style changes throughout, which I'm sure was probably the point. But like if you go from just the first, just from the first piece, a person stencil, I think is what the piece is called, to his next one, the style looks completely different. Like the detail in the painting / drawing, and I'm not even talking about just like drawing versus painting or fully rendered versus sketched, but like from just like in general, it all just feel, it feels, the art style just feels inconsistent for some reason.
Yeah, there's some stuff that's more hyper realistic, and
I think that's the thing too, is I tend to fall more into like a hyper realistic or like semi realistic style, comic booky, and I like manga style too. Yeah, like those end papers there on Frugal Wizard. I love that style, the hyper realistic, but also like kind of fantasy-esque, stuff like that.
Yeah.
I really like, and not all of it is like that. But like, see, look at the end papers compared to like this. It's just so weird. Like the style just seems like it changes throughout.
Yeah.
Let me see. There's one in here too. That is like, because see, like then you have this one, which is my favorite piece in this book. That looks really rendered super well. It's the one with a girl holding her fist up, and there's like lightning coming down behind her. Color is very, very well done.
Right.
But I think that might be why it's kind of falls as my lowest. Is just everything does feel kind of inconsistent. Not bad. I'm not saying it's bad at all.
Right.
Inconsistent, which I'm sure, honestly, I feel like probably was his point.
Well, and partly because it's trying to be a handbook. It's got like in-world stuff. It's got illustrations, but then it's got like in-world. I forget what the word is. But it's like the sketches on the side, the actual
handbook
pages that are in there. So I think that there was like a lot of different things he was going for with it, with the different parts of the art. Did
really good, and Stephen Argyle is a phenomenal artist.
Yeah,
but definitely fell down there as my least.
So let's go into more detail on a few pieces.
I say we start with probably one of the better pieces in all the books, which is the first one that you see in Trust of the Emerald Sea. This is the one that they showed during during the Dragonsteel 2022. That's what we went, right?
Yeah.
They did a panel showing one piece of artwork from each secret project. And this was the one that they showed. What's the name of it? I think it's a Sipping Salty Tea.
I love that they put the page numbers for the illustrations in the front of the book, so you could get to them.
That's what I did like that about these books, because obviously they're meant to have illustrations. Brandon wanted illustrations in it, so he does emphasize them a lot with, like Josh just said, they put in the contents of the book where each page number is for the art.
Do a quick description of it.
So if you haven't seen it, go look it up. I bet you if you type in Trust of the Emerald Sea, it'll probably one of the first things that pop up. But it shows a blonde-haired girl with hair flowing in the wind holding a mug / cup in a dress that's flowing, kind of looks like wind's blowing, definitely. And behind her, she's sitting on like a wooden staircase, and behind her you see this very bright green, the spore moon that's mentioned in the book. The contrasting colors is just beautiful. The way that the green, I guess, tinted and highlighted on her dress and in her hair is just like kind of layered throughout the whole piece is just wonderful. The hyper realism is insane. Just the action in it with the hair flowing, it's very eye drawing. It just, the whole piece just kind of really draws you in my opinion.
Yeah. And I like the focus on I like how prominent the hair is in it, because that's a prominent descriptor of her. Is it one of the first things that is used to describe her is talking about her hair? You know, and then you got her sipping the tea and everything, which is like, you know, cups in this book are really important to her. They symbolize they're kind of foreshadowing that she's going to leave because she loves to get them from people who've traveled from faraway places. You know, so and then she's got several that are with her throughout the journey that are kind of like characters of their own. So it's cool.
It does do a good job too of like, it's very emphasized a lot in the book from her perspective that she is just an average girl. And I feel like the piece does a good job of kind of portraying her as just an average girl. Yeah, just does a very, very good opening piece to the book to get you ready for the other art and to kind of get you ready for the secret projects in general, I feel.
Yeah.
I feel like it was a really good one to start with. Howard Lyons, the artist, if we didn't mention that already, he does all the artwork in the first book of Trust of the Emerald Sea. And he just continues to do a really good job. I'm pretty sure he is hired on with Dragonsteel.
Yeah, I think he is. He is one that I don't know if he's like a.
I'm pretty sure he's a hired on artist for them, like kind of freelance Dragonsteel artist. But he does magic cards. Yeah, he does classes and everything like that. I think that's another thing I like about this piece too is he showed, because I did a workshop. I went to one of his workshops too at the thing that they're doing, and he was kind of showing this piece. And he used a live model for this. He took a picture of a live model, then used it as a reference. And I just like that because it kind of highlights that like for artists, like you can use reference and it's good and it looks gonna look good. Yeah, really impressed with this piece. Yeah. You want to try and do like maybe 2 pieces per book? You want to do more?
Well, 2 is probably a good target. I know we want to talk about the one at the end. I want to talk about the one, with the Hoyd, but I do kind of want to mention the dragon one.
Oh, yes.
What's that one called? A Better Deal, probably 368.
Pull it up.
I just remember being so happy when I was reading this, and I realized there was going to be an actual like real dragon in it. I was like, yes, there's a dragon. Because we know there's dragons in the Cosmere,
but we never see it.
We never really see them in dragon form necessarily, and they're just interesting, mysterious characters in the books. So, and the whole exchange with the dragon was just such an amazing reverse. It's like a reverse of the riddles with Smeagol, where it's like, instead of like trying to trick, instead of like playing a game with Smeagol, like he's kind of playing with them, making them kind of pitting them against each other. It was just a very fun scene, and such a interesting, or it's just a really cool piece, I think.
The red, it contrasts very well with the rest of the book, which is a lot of it's green. Up until this point, we are seeing a lot of green in the drawings. Right. Everything's kind of highlighted in green because they were in the Emerald Sea.
Now they're in the Crimson Sea.
And this, the artwork the color changes. Now we're red. Even Tress is wearing a red. Her jacket is red.
Right. You've got this giant dragon looming over them with its wings stretching from one side of the page to the other. It has 4 limbs and wings, so it's not the kind of dragon where the wings are the arms.
He's thinner too. He's a thin dragon.
Yeah, kind of a slender design. I like the horns too, like how long they are and slender. But and then almost like the neck, the back of the neck is almost like
almost furry.
Yeah, furry or almost or maybe some kind of feather type. Very interesting.
Looks like it's got a beard too.
Oh yeah, he's got some like a white beard coming off the chin, and then you can see below that Crow, the pirate captain, who's trying to get him to take Tress, and then Tress flips it on her, which is just a great moment. But yeah, I just thought that was a fun one for sure. So, but yeah,
I like the description that my iPad's giving me for that Tress and Crow stand before Zixus, whose towers over them and is backlit with glorious light.
Yeah, there's it's
a very good description.
Light that's coming down from the top of the cavern.
Yeah, that was such a cool scene. I'm glad that he did an art piece on that because it's a very cool scene.
Definitely demanded it.
Oh, 100%.
Been a big missed opportunity. But yeah, so then we have a lot going on in the last piece, the Battle of Wits one.
Battle of Wits. I'm gonna read the description my iPad's giving me. Okay. Hoyd, looking truly unstylish, blocks a blast of power Arena had launched at Tress. This piece is just when I read this and saw this, I just giggled with joy, and it was just so funny to me, but it's also rendered so well. Like I mentioned earlier, Hoyd's outfit, he's wearing unmatching socks too, which is hilarious. And mind you, this is mentioned in the book. Like this is a point. It's brought up by Wit, who's the narrator, in the book, and then you have Tress is trapped up on a wall in the back of the painting, and Hoyd and the other character, Rena, I think her name is.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Is trying to attack her with magic, and that's when Hoyd comes in. Hoyd's been like dumb the entire book,
right? And
he comes in and uses his magical power and deflects it, and it's just a really pleasant piece, and it's pleasant but also funny, and it was a very cool cool part of the book as well.
Well, yeah, the climax, and you've just like so much information gets dropped, because you just know there's a sorceress, but then you get to this point, it's like, oh, by the way, it's an Elantrian, and oh, by the way, she's in a spaceship, and oh, she's got some kind of like, there's like, it talks about computers, they're like awakened, like microchips and stuff like that. Like,
well, that's like the one character throughout the whole book is using this like tablet.
Oh yeah.
Come to find out that it is like an actual like electronic tablet thing that helps him because he's like a mute.
Yep. And then what else do we learn here? Oh well, the whole thing is like Hoyd is trying to get access to Elantrian magic, basically. I think
I'm pretty sure.
And it was like if he pulled this off, he made this like bargain with this Elantrian that if he pulled this off, that he would get access to Elantrian magic or something. I don't remember exactly how she was able to deliver that or doing that was, but yeah, it's definitely a very, very cool moment in the big reveal with another character I don't need to mention, but yeah.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's like super spoilers.
Yeah. But yeah, so that's Tress.
Tress of the Emerald Sea.
I love the end notes too. Is that what you call these?
Yeah, the end papers.
I just love it's just beautiful. I love it. You've got this in the front of the book, you've got these two cups that she has with her throughout. One's a tankard. It's like metal. And then she has this little teacup, which this is the teacup that they are selling right now.
Oh, okay.
It looks like that. This beautiful teacup, and then at the very end, you've got the rat and the tankard, and you've got at one point the teacup breaks, and at the end, it's been like put back together. It's just a cool little detail.
The end papers for all of the Cosmere books have always been really well done.
Yeah. So next, where do you want to go next?
Let's talk a little bit about. Let's go ahead and go in order. Let's do some Frugal Wizard.
Okay.
Knock out a few pieces from there.
I'll let you kind of lead this because I'll have less to say about these probably.
I'll just pick two of my favorites from it. We'll talk about them. The thing is it's been a while since I've read this one. I don't fully remember the story. Let's talk about One Piece. Let's talk about the One Piece that I was talking about earlier. That's just I really enjoy.
Okay.
Because like I said, I don't really remember too much. This is actually if you ordered the Secret Projects, this is the piece that's on the bookmark.
Okay.
Which is, you see one of the characters, she's a female, she's standing up on like a rocky, almost like rocky hill, and she's got her fist raised up in the air defiantly, and there's lightning striking behind her. I just like the contrasting colors in this, the warm and cold colors, cool colors. Like I said, it's kind of, I feel bad because it's been so long since I've read this book. I don't remember the story and what's exactly happening here, so I don't remember the importance. Because I only read through this one once, and it didn't hold my attention as strongly. But I feel like this piece really does show the talent of Stephen Argyle, and how well he can do it. You know, a lot of the other pieces in this book are they are very, almost seem like more like sketches, more like done with pencil. They're not fully rendered, but I think the biggest highlight for this book is not like the single pieces; it's all the smaller doodle type things that are layered throughout. There's like a funny little character that you see multiple times throughout the book, like
a little wizard, wizard outfit.
The little wizard outfit that's just very fun, and
that's what the plushie is. There's like a plushie of him. Yeah, I like that in that piece. The thing that intrigued me about that piece you showed is the book. I know it opens up and you see that he's got these like nanites, so this technology that allows him to do things that appear magical. And so seeing that art piece is clearly something magical going on with this female character. And so it just intrigues me. It's a very, very dramatic scene of the lightning. Looks like she's literally calling lightning down.
That one piece contrasts very well with like the cartoonish style of a lot of the other drawings. Like a lot of the fact pages that start with like the goofy.
Yes, those are fun.
Almost like
it looks like a Final Fantasy, almost the Final Fantasy magician, or
the hat, yeah.
Only that's like a black. There's like this black like color, and then there's just eyes.
Eyes, yeah.
Whereas this is just white. Yeah. I wonder if they were going for that at all.
Wouldn't surprise me. Yeah, I honestly don't have too much to say about this one. There are definitely some good pieces in here. My favorite pieces in here are the ones that look like they're more done with a sketch, like a pencil, instead of the fully rendered ones.
Yeah.
But what do you say we move on to Yumi?
Let's do it.
Yumi's art style is way different than the other books. Like I said, it's got some of the black and white stuff seem very oriental in nature,
right? Like
old style oriental. Then you have some that look very anime-ish. Anime manga. What are some pieces in here that you really liked that you can remember at least?
Well, I think like an example of some of the ones I liked. Well, if you go to 167, the Noodle Student, that's just a fun one because that was a fun location that they kept ending up at. You know, because you have Hoyd as a coat rack.
Yep.
And a hat rack because, you know, spoilers, I was reading about this actually before the last episode we recorded. So like the theory is that he, in response, and maybe it's alluded to, I can't remember if he alludes to it when he explains what happened to him, in response to someone in another series messing with his investiture, he puts some kind of like safeguard in place so that if something starts happening to his investiture, this happens to him. So like he went inert because of these like safeguards that happened to him, because when you hit that, if you remember like something that's going on in this planet is something that's pulling investiture. It's trying to feed into, there's a machine that's trying to eat investiture, remember?
Yeah.
And so that's why he became a coat rack, is because he was another book series that we've read, and we're looking forward to a sequel soon. In that book, he had his magic.
What series?
His magic stores, you could say, tampered with, and so he put some kind of safeguard in place. And this is like later on after that. So he became a coat rack, and so his Spren design, who apparently has found a way to take corporeal form,
basically. Yep.
Looks like a woman. Spray painted him like bronze or something, and then like started throwing coats on him
and like put hooks on him and everything, so the people hanging their hats and coats. It's a very funny piece. It's also very just. This piece to me is just the artwork in this one with the colors and the style was very pleasant. Mm-hmm. I like the colors, very just this is also a type of style that I really enjoy.
Right. Yeah, like this. Yeah, I like this as compared to some of the more glossy, full colored. Yes. I really like this piece.
Yes. I just in general like this type of style, the more manga comic booky type of style. That's just kind of what I tend to gravitate towards. Mm. Just because that's what me as an artist I tend to like to go for. Like I draw is this more comic-y, art booky style, manga-y style. A lot of the black and white pieces are similar to this in this book as well.
Did you have a piece in this book that you remember?
I really like the coat rack.
Is that a different one?
Yes, that's at the very end. It's one of the more simple ones, but it's just it's after Hoyd wakes up as a dog or whatever. Okay. Yeah, it's just him sitting with design.
Yeah, they're having a conversation.
Just once again because I really like the style. I like the way her proportion the artist did the proportions. And Wit is just a cool looking character in general, I feel like.
Yeah.
I also like that, in this all the hooks and all the stuff are still hanging off him, but it's very interesting. The hooks on his head look like a crown.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just very interesting. I very much like it. And there was one other piece that I very much enjoyed. That is a more fully rendered one. That's also at the end. It's called Contest.
That with the stacking?
Mm-hmm. And it's just once again it comes down to just I think it's I can probably find the page. Give me a second.
I think I just had it a second ago.
I think it's page 459.
That one?
Yup. It's just I like this one because one, it was a cool point in the book, but two, the color, the contrasting orange and blue just looks so just pretty and pleasant to the eyes.
Yeah.
And this one is a more fully rendered piece. The perspective in it is really good. I'm also looking at a lot of these more from the reference of someone who does art and understands some things, and it just this one really caught my eye when I first saw it.
I mean, it's definitely, that's a very powerful moment, in the story for Yumi's character, The whole thing about this machine that can do things, it gets introduced, earlier in the story, and it's like, oh, this... Because before it was just like, oh, maybe they won't need Yokohijo anymore, because if they have a machine, that can do it more reliably, more consistently, never gets tired. And then it comes around full circle to the end of the book where there's this machine that's...
It's stacking.
It's stacking, but it's stacking because...
To draw the spirit so that it can basically...
Right, so it can keep the shroud and all this stuff up. And
yeah.
Because I think it was like one of those things where it's like it was a well-meaning...
Yeah, initially well-meaning, and then it kind of backfired.
It kind of went out of control kind of thing. Your whole, like, almost like a classic story of a piece of technology that, goes farther than anyone intended or realized it would. Anyway, anything else in Yumi for you?
No, I'm just remembering the story and how good it was.
Yeah.
That was a good story. It definitely subverted what I thought it was how it was going to end. Kind of a bit more of a mind trippy.
Yeah. I definitely knew as I was reading it, I was like, however this is going to end, I'm never going to see it coming, because I was just so it was one of those things where you just know, unless you know the ending, you can't guess it, kind of thing.
Yeah.
The way he had so many things that you knew were moving behind the scenes, or things that were going on you didn't fully understand. I'm sure that will be one that would be very interesting on a reread, kind of similar to Tress.
I plan on doing a reread of both of those pretty soon, actually.
Because just because they've got such good twists, you know.
And we'll say too, the art was done by Aaliyah Chen.
Right.
That is the artist for this book. I don't think we mentioned that yet.
Okay, yeah.
Aaliyah Chen, phenomenal job.
Very good.
And now we're on to the Sunlit Man. And as I'm looking through a lot of these art pieces again, this style falls more in line of what I like to draw, what my style kind of is. Mm-hmm. This is definitely a more comic booky. You know, the ones that aren't fully rendered, which most of these aren't fully rendered in this.
Right.
But this has a more comic booky feel to it. That definitely falls, which I think is why I like it so much, because it falls a lot more in line of how I personally draw and how I like my stuff to look.
Mm. Kind of like rough, like kind of a rough look.
Rough look, but then also just the type of proportions you have on the people and the way that they're done in general. But I do like the rougher look too. I like the more sketchy feel of a lot of it. The contrast with throwing red in there, even though it's a black and white piece, is really interesting. Mm. It's got the few fully rendered pieces in it too are astounding.
Yeah,
I'll say probably for me the fully rendered art drawings in this are probably my favorite out of all the Cosmere or the secret novel stuff.
Yeah.
I really like all the fully rendered ones.
He definitely picked his moments like well.
Yes.
You know, which ones he was going to do, which I don't know how much Brandon weighed in on those, but
yeah, he did. The ones that he did so well, and it just looks so, yeah. I do. I love the style. Love the simpleness of a lot of the sketches because it helps highlight and emphasize a lot of stuff that's going on in the book, but it doesn't take away from the story.
Right.
If that makes sense.
Like, in what way could it take away from the story, do you feel like?
Or not take away from the story, but allows you to just quickly see a view of what is happening without. Because sometimes, like, when people read, like, for example, when I read, I like, a big part of reading for me is I like to imagine the scenes in my head. And I get a good image of the characters in the scene. When you do rough sketches the way he does in this book, it kind of helps you to, like, kind of picture how everything is, but also not overbear on what it looks like.
Right.
Minus the fully rendered pages are different. When things are fully rendered, you have a fully colorized, rendered illustration of the scene. And so when you see it, that's what's going to be in your head. Whereas like when you have the more sketchy, just like whatever, it kind of helps you to like give you like a little framework to go off of, but then you think of the color, you think of, everything else going on. That's kind of what I mean.
Yeah.
And that's more of a personal thing. It's just for when I read and stuff like that. Like when I read, and a lot of times I actually like to look up what like a character looks like, but then from there, that's all I like to look at is what the character looks like. And then from there, I can imagine the character in the story or in the scene, and then everything else kind of comes to me, or I might spend a minute to like really understand the description of the character so I know what they look like in my head.
Right.
For while I'm reading.
Was there an illustration in this one of the moment where Hoyt is in this one?
Yes.
Need to find that.
It is. Also, for this one, I didn't realize it until now, but this has 3 different artists, 3 different illustrators.
Oh, yeah. Makes sense because there's,
the styles are very different.
Styles are different. Would it have been?
And these are all freelance artists. They don't work for Dragon Steel. I think I just passed it. It's where is it?
Is it this one?
Yes, that's the one with Hoyt.
Okay. I kind of want to talk about that one real quick just because I want to talk about that moment. So just, a little spoilery, but, you have this character that's from the Stormlight books, Sigil, and...
Major spoilers. Sigil's the main character of this book.
Well, yeah. It's been out for
No, I know. I'm just saying, like, I was just like pointing out, like big spoilers.
Big spoiler. Sigil is the main character and cool. But so this scene
also looks jacked in this illustration.
He does actually. He looks. Is that a shotgun?
I can't
remember.
Yeah, that's one of the guns.
Just this scene was really gripped to me the first time I read it.
Yes,
because me too. He's like reeling. He's not who he's not the like his peak self, in terms of his character and his honor and all those things. He's just running. And it's obviously got a lot of internal scars, which that's a big theme in this book is like healing scars. And he sees someone in a uniform at the edge of his vision when he's out here because of his character, that his spren or whatever that he has that is interesting. Connects him, strengthens his connection to this person, and it turns out to be Hoyd. But at first, he thinks it's Kaladin.
Yeah, that was a moment for me when he was just like he looks like Kaladin.
Yeah, and it was like, whoa, that's crazy. Like, what does that mean? But it turns out to be Hoyd.
I feel like an interesting moment too with Hoyd in this, where it seems like he kind of gets a little bit more vulnerable.
Mm-hmm.
Because it is this, what's happening with Sigil is because of Hoyd, if I remember correctly.
Yeah,
like he got the Dawn Shard because of Hoyd.
Yeah, somehow Hoyd convinced him to take it. I think it sounds like Hoyd thought him taking it would help in some way. That it didn't fully do what they thought it would do, or it was just he didn't fully understand the ramifications. I don't think Hoyd did fully, but he probably knew. I'm sure he knew more knowing Hoyd than he told him.
Probably.
And it's brought Sigil to this really low point. And he starts to tell a story. And the story is about himself. And I forget exactly how much of it he gets out before he finally just says, "I'm sorry," It's just a very unique Hoyd cameo, and definitely speaks to where things are at this point in the Cosmere. Seems like things must be a little bit more dire,
Yeah, this is just I'm like kind of glancing through some of the chapter. It does seem like Wit is just acting slightly different than he does in most of the other encounters with people, where he seems a little bit more subdued. And it's one of those things too where Nomad is legitimately being like, just go away.
Right.
Sigil is like, most of the time the people are like, well, I don't want to hear Wit, but then they kind of listen, where he's just like, seriously, go away.
Right. So your favorite full color piece?
That's a hard one for this one. Or did I already talk about my favorite one?
I think you did.
I talked about one I really liked, but as I was looking through some more of them, I think I might have a different one.
Okay.
But no. Where's that meme of the one girl that's like, wait?
Yeah.
Well. This one is just beautiful. We're on the same one.
Well, he has, so you have a character in Shard Plate slightly on fire because I think he's
near the sun. He's in the path of the sun. Yeah,
right? the path of the sun, and then like there's a fiery glyph. It's the Skybreaker glyph. So you kind of get a big drop at this point in the story that he's not a Windrunner. His spren is a Skybreaker spren, and so it's just there's just a lot of stuff has happened, but it's really a beautiful piece, and
does a good job of highlighting the character with the sigil and leaving everything else just leaving everything else be.
This part of the story is very big. The payoff of the art here and the payoff of this part of the story was huge because he'd been so handicapped the whole book, unable to get a weapon, to use a weapon, and you knew he had this connection, and you weren't sure, like, could he, could he have a shard blade again? Could he have shard plate? So it was definitely a huge, like, jump out of your seat kind of moment, like hoot and holler.
Hoot and holler,
as we say here in the South on the Bridge of Two podcast.
It's a hoot and holler. Yeah, that was that scene. Having that piece come up was just And talk about the book too. The book looks immaculate.
Yeah,
the red and the black. Yeah.
Did we rank the covers or the on the last episode? I
don't think so.
You want to do those real quick?
Sure, we'll finish off with that. Well, let's talk the illustrators real quick. Are Hernanda Souza,
perfect.
Nabetse Zitro,
perfectly said,
and Kudriakin.
Definitely said that right.
I butchered 100% all of those. But that being said, they are
you're used to it.
Like Nabitso Zitro is a self-taught illustrator.
Huh.
From Paraguay. It's cool that Brandon Sanderson gave these guys the opportunity to do art. Like it really, I don't know, it's just really cool to me.
Yeah.
Anyway, my favorite is Sunlit Man.
Favorite cover.
Then I think I'm Yumi. Trust is number 3. Frugal Wizard. Actually, I actually really like the cover for the Frugal Wizard.
Yeah.
I actually might put... I think it's going to be Sunlit Man, Yumi, Frugal Wizard, Trust. For me.
Man, can't believe how wrong you are.
What?
I mean, just not even close.
It's called opinion.
I know.
And mine is right.
I'm just having fun, teasing you.
Well...
Here's what I was thinking. I was like sitting here while we were talking earlier about Tress, and I was just like, man, that moon is gorgeous. And that, like, you can see like the craters and stuff, like they're literally in the cover. Yeah,
you know what? I think I lied. I think I'm gonna switch Emerald Tress and the Frugal Wizard. So Sunlight's number 1. Yumi, because I like the colors a lot. Tress, and then Frugal Wizard.
I am appalled.
I'm appalled that you're appalled.
No, I think Tress is like far and away the best cover.
I don't know, dude.
Far and away.
It's good.
Just like the lettering is so pleasant. How it is like both the lettering of the title and of like Brandon's name, like just very pleasant. You've got the beautiful, greenery or whatever, probably like verdant vines that are growing around, and you've got the beautiful green moon, the spores coming off of it. I mean, it's just immaculate. I can't get over it. I love the back even, you've got the spore sea and like a pirate ship kind of thing going on. So I'm like all the way Tress. I think
dude, the Sunlit Man, just the red.
Sunlit Man's good. Oh yeah,
the lettering, the mix with the black, the gold sun.
It's very good.
Black pages.
The only thing,
and the other character on the back, which looks beautiful.
Yes. There's a lot good there. I love the gold. I love the foil, the gold foil on the back. The only thing about the Sunlit Man cover. It's definitely in my set. It's definitely number 2 for me. I prefer the art style.
So you're wrong.
I prefer the art style of the like human figure on Tress versus this. It's more stylistic on Sunlit Man, which is fine. It's just
I'm also taking into account the black colored pages, and that's just. I'm a sucker. I'm a sucker for color.
That pages. Is a strong, and it goes really well with the cover where there's a lot of black too. So I think it's definitely a very strong contender, but Tress is just, I can't.
But see, I even put Yumi before Tress.
I know. So the thing about Yumi for me is I put Yumi. What I put it next? I don't know. I don't know. The blue and the magenta, they just are a little clashy for me.
Really? Interesting.
And that's a very technical term. I actually like the cover. I have the cover for Yumi because I was reading it at the time as my background. Mm-hmm. And I really like the background. Like I like how it looks on my computer, but in like physically holding it and looking at it, it just doesn't look as good to me as it does like digitally. And also the lettering. I mean, the lettering off to the side is kind of...
Yeah, I agree. The lettering off to the side is a little weird, but I personally...
The back's nice.
I personally really like the coloring. The blue and magenta. Pink. We'll go blue and pink.
Yeah, it's the blue and pink. I mean...
I personally like it.
It's necessary for the storyline. I mean, like those two colors are very important in the story, so it like makes sense. And, you know...
I like the
girl
simplicity.
Gets the pink and the boy gets the blue. So that's important too.
The simplicity of the back.
Yeah, I like it too. I like the back.
I will say though.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
I will say I am not a fan of the spine. I hate how Yumi's one way and the rest of them, like Yumi are one way and then the Nightmare Painter. I understand it. I understand the reasoning behind it, and it's
right.
Story-wise, it fits, but looking at it is unpleasant to the eyes.
Yes, no, I felt that way too. It's like, ugh. But, and then Frugal Wizard, I'd say Frugal Wizard is probably number 3, and Yumi last. So I like the lettering on the Frugal Wizard. I think it's just a fun, like you just really get from the cover what you're going for in the story very well.
I really like the design of the character. The silhouette is just very pleasant.
I think this is the one that's changed the least too. Whenever they were showing like they were showing like these like sample potential covers of all the projects. The one that changed the least is the Frugal Wizard one. It's pretty much the same. So they knew what they wanted. Anyway, that's what I got.
Well, that's pretty much been our overview of the secret projects, both story-wise and illustration-wise.
Yep, we got to them. We got to do them.
Who knows? Maybe sometime this year we'll do a breakdown, going individually reading them, talking about them in an episode.
Could
get further deep dive. I want to do reread of all of them. So
yeah, for all the next secret projects that come out.
Yeah, the 16 more that I'm sure he did in the last 2 months.
Right. Awesome. Well, we'll see you next time. With another fun topic. So thank you for listening.
Thanks always for listening.
And so as we say, this has been the Bridge of Two podcast. A far, far away bridge.
Didn't mess it up this time.
No, I didn't.